Councillor Cole to speak.
Yes, I have a motion, if we could put up on the screen. I want to thank everybody for their meaningful, really heartfelt thoughts on this very, very serious challenge the people of Toronto face. And I think it's been a very productive day for us to all focus on this critical issue. I'm moving this motion that says the City Council requests, Toronto Transit Commission Board requests the Chief Executive Officer of Toronto Transit to work with the City Manager to convene an urgent-based multi-government transit and community safety task force to coordinate the strategy and response to address the unprecedented growing safety and security concerns on the Toronto Transit Commission. And also, a key point here is to invite the federal and provincial government to have a seat at this table, because we know we don't have the financial resources to solve a lot of these problems. And these problems don't start or stop at Toronto's borders. They are really brought into Toronto sometimes. There's a multifaceted number of challenges. So we need the province and the feds to have someone sit at the table to deal with the immediate threats to safety and the long-term root causes that we've all talked about. So that's why we need them at the table, and we need their commitment to resourcing some of these needs that we have, which are causing the problems. Because unfortunately right now everybody is focusing on the TTC, and the TTC is supposed to solve this, and the TTC has to do things differently, whatever. Basically, the TTC is essentially the front lines of a deeper problem that we have in the city and even beyond the city's borders. So we need to help the TTC because their primary business is providing mobility to the people of Toronto, to get to work, to get to doctor's appointments, that's what their job is. They are not a social service provider. So that's why we need to step up the game of other social service providers and to fund those social service providers to prevent some of these things from happening. Because this is not only happening on the TTC. If you talk to small shopkeepers on main streets in Toronto, the BIAs, they'll tell you they're noticing very bizarre, threatening behavior on our main streets. So you can push them off the TTC. Where will these people that are troubled go? So that's why we need this coordinated approach, deals with the problem right now today, which is very imminent, and the long-range solutions. And you know, what's most disheartening about what I've heard today is that the Minister of Finance, who's a Toronto member, Chrystia Freeland, has turned her back on the City of Toronto and its problems. You know, but they've been asked by, you know, our Deputy Mayor for some tangible help and recognition that there are problems that have been COVID-related that we need their help on. And to see that a sitting member in the middle of Toronto, Chrystia Freeland, basically said, I don't care about Toronto. I've got more important things to do. I know I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to let my federal member know, who's a minister. I'm not too damn happy with my federal government. Sure, we've had our disagreements with the Ford government and their lack of attention. But this is the first time in all my years I've been so disgusted with a federal government that turns its back on the engine of the country. The people of Toronto do all the work, a lot of work. They sacrifice. We bring in all the refugees. 400,000 more immigrants are going to come to Toronto. We welcome them. And then for the Minister of Finance, Chrystia Freeland, to say, I don't care about your problems. I got more important things to do. I'll talk to the next mayor and deal with the problem. Meanwhile, we are in a crisis, a humanitarian crisis right here in Toronto.
5
that's
seconds.
manifested with this incredible violence, this incredible dislocation. So we need to also stand up and talk to our federal members and say, what the hell are you doing
Thank you.
in Toronto as a federal MP? What are you doing?
Thank you, Councillor Cole. We do have some questions for